there, Pastor Omar here at E-Free Church, and this morning I'm with Matt Burgess from Home Sweet Home Ministries. Home Sweet Home Ministries is one of our missions partners here at church, and this month we are highlighting them. And Matt, can you tell us a little bit about who you are and some of the things that Home Sweet Home Ministries is doing here in Bloomington Normal?
Yes, I'm the CEO at Home Sweet Home Ministries, and we are one of the main homeless service providers here in town. We serve people through our shelter, and that's a shelter for men, women, and families with children. We have, of course, in our shelter a dining center and staff that work to support people. We also have a low-income food co-op, our community center that's called The Junction, and then we have some housing programs where we're helping people get into apartments. We're providing things like rental assistance and outreach-based case management support. And obviously, one of the big things that we've been busy with for almost a year now is the growth of the tent encampment right next door to us. And so that's been an added thing that we've been dealing with for close to a year at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things that as a church we're actually doing this month of July here is in light of what we see in our community, this tent encampment of a lot of people who are homeless, right? Who are experiencing homelessness, and for Home Sweet Home Ministries to help and provide. That's something that really struck our heart. And so one of the things that we're doing here at church, and you might have seen the tent outside here in our building, is we're doing a drive to collect items that will hopefully serve many of the people at the tent encampment. So if you're want to be a part of that, out here in the foyer, out in our building, you're going to see a tent. You're going to see sort of a list of the drive that we're doing, and hopefully we collect a lot of things for them. And so can you give us an update about the tent encampment and what's going on there, and what do you see going forward?
Yeah, obviously this is a situation that shouldn't be acceptable to any of us, right? This is it's an inhumane set of circumstances that some of our neighbors are finding themselves in. Our shelter is full. The Salvation Army's shelter is full pretty much perpetually at this point in time. And so that means people can't get into shelter, or sometimes the type of service that we provide in our existing shelter isn't what people need. And so they have no other options than to try and survive outside in a tent, in a car, sleeping in a stairwell or something like that. And we've seen a real growth of that over the last year in a way that I haven't seen in my time in the community. So what we've been trying to do is a kind of a two-pronged effort. We're trying to improve the humane conditions for our camping neighbors, providing essential items like what you're collecting. We're also helping people get connected to resources and get applications for housing filled out. Or a lot of times what we're doing is we're helping people get an ID. Because they don't have that identification, and without that they can't make any progress forward. And so that's one prong of effort that we're expending. And the other is that we're working very closely with the city, with the town, with the county, and with our nonprofit partners to really identify a long-term, real more viable solution. I've been describing it as an alternate shelter to what we have right now. We need to expand space, but we need to do it thoughtfully. We need to make sure that the space that we create, the rules that we establish, work for the people that we're trying to reach. And so we've been very busy behind the scenes. It's not very visible to most people in the community, to most people at E-Free are not going to know that. But we've been working diligently throughout since last fall to try and find that solution. I feel like we're closing in on a real possibility, so that hopefully by the time cold weather starts to come in to the community again, that we're able to bring people indoors, so where they can sleep safely and behind a door that locks in a temperature-controlled area, so they can think about more than just trying to survive.
Wow. Matt, thank you. I think that I appreciate the update. As you were saying, that's something that as a church we're committed to help other organizations who are helping already and finding solutions. So we really appreciate the work that Home Sweet Home Ministries is doing towards the homelessness situation here in our community. And I think lastly, I just want to ask, how can we be praying for Home Sweet Home Ministries? I know if there's volunteers or opportunities that are available to us as a congregation, as individuals who are watching this, who might be moved to be able to be part of the solution.
Yeah, you can be certainly praying for our unsheltered neighbors, first and foremost. These are our neighbors, and we're called to love our neighbors, and I think it's important that we remember and start from that perspective. So be praying for their safety, be praying for their well-being and health. they're dealing with a lot of challenges. Sometimes it's mental health, and sometimes it's addiction, and sometimes it's just a trauma history. And so be praying for that restoration in their lives. Certainly, I welcome prayers for my staff that do the hard work day in and day out, trying to show God's love to those neighbors. And we really welcome prayers of support. It feels good to us to know that the community is praying for us. And then also for our city leaders, as we work on the solution, that we remain focused on finding answers as our main objective, that we should have a way to bring everybody indoors in our community. And so be praying for that eventual outcome. And then, of course, if people want to get involved, you can always go to our website and fill out our volunteer application. It's an amazing place to volunteer. We've got all sorts of opportunities for people to get involved with us.
Wow, that's awesome. Thanks, Matt. Really appreciate it. And again, we're highlighting Homestead Home Ministries this month. We hope that you can be part of the drive that we're doing and also volunteer at Homestead Home Ministries. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you. Thank you, Ifri.